All right. Hey everyone. Happy Monday-Runday. Oh man, today has been a day. Let me spin you guys around here. Sounds like a sick duck. Yeah, I agree. There we go. Whew. Got the patriotic colors up here. Got the missile always pointed at me. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, how's everyone doing tonight? We got a bunch of people in here. I saw we had people from the Poconos. We had people from all over Westchester. Let me turn the possessed signal gates off. They're off for tonight. And it's also really hot up here because we had a beautiful day and all the heat decided to come up here to the attic, of course. It's the highest point of the house. So, yeah. Hey, Real Fan Roger. Hello from Maryland. Yep, I know Maryland pretty well. Oh, what did I do with that? To say I had a water bottle up here. Upper Bucks County. Oh, geez. Anyone have anything fun planned for today, or everyone have any awesome plans for this past weekend? Visiting family in PA. Nice. Actually, turn this fan down really quick. There we go. Oh. Got the fan turned down to a slurry, so we're not like, I don't know, it's just really loud. It's an old box fan up here. It rained all weekend, so no Strasburg. Oh man, we were there yesterday. On the ground. Yeah, we were actually there yesterday. It wasn't too bad. The temperature really sucked. It got kind of cold, so we had to wear rain gear and stuff, but it wasn't too bad. But yes, I did. We did go to Strasburg. We did see 611. I'll get into that a little bit later, but it was pretty cool. The armpit. Oh my God. Yeah, it did rain. It did rain a lot this weekend. We got a lot of stuff. We did a lot of stuff. I was going to say we got a lot of stuff done. We didn't get anything done around here. We were outside. But yeah, of course, then my car decided to break down. So that's going to be in the shop tomorrow, which is awesome. Of course, to end a 4-day weekend, got my broken car. Third time. Wow. Yeah, it was my first time seeing 611. I mean, it was cool. I think it was pretty awesome. We chased it a couple of times. We were just like, we got to go because Strasburg's not that big of a railroad. It's a short line, but it's really a couple miles each way. So once it starts to go, it goes. So you have to kind of keep up on it. As soon as it leaves one location, you have to run. So we got a couple of good chases in there, but it was my first time actually like driving after a train. Like I've done it here. Actually, it's not true. I've done it down the street a couple of times, but it was pretty cool. Yeah, it is a great engine to watch. I agree with that. Back to North Carolina tomorrow. Oh, geez, that's a long drive. Yeah, 8.5 miles compared to the railroad that's local, that scenic railroad. I believe it could be like a 25-mile round trip if they really felt like it, or even it could technically be like a 50-mile round trip if they really felt like it. So that'd be really cool. Dad and I watched it from the Red Caboose. Oh, no way. Yeah, we filmed there yesterday. We filmed, what was it, 90 and then 611 from that point, and we watched it come back because it comes back head on instead of tender first. And basically when we got to that point, I was just like, okay, let's just go to a different location. We'll catch a different engine, stuff like that. We tried catching 90 at 2 different locations. And then what was it? Man, I don't even remember. It was such a long day yesterday. It was just crazy. By the way, I'm going to Kentucky in a few weeks. So I'll be in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania for like the rest of the summer, catching stuff. In a couple weeks, I'm going to Altoona for our channels meetup. So we're gonna see Horseshoe Curve for the first time. I'm gonna bring the portable train set, which it's downstairs. So I'll be bringing that. I'll be filming with that, and a couple other things. Well, there's a lot of things to do there. Make sure this is plugged in. I was like, "What's humming?" It's the transformer. Jeez. But yeah, 611 was pretty cool. When we got there were already people out, with their giant cameras, just taking pictures and stuff. We avoided all of that, and then it started to downpour. All those people went away, and then I got out of the car. I'm like, this is the perfect time, and we filmed 611 pulling into the station, up to the set of cars that they were going to use that day for. Then after that, we kind of just hung out in the platform. It went through her whole routine of coupling up and then getting up the pressure and everything. And what else was there? Pretty much it pulled out of the station. I filmed 90 coming in, 90 going out, and then 611. Did I film it returning? I think we filmed 611 returning. Yes. Yeah, we did that. And then after that, we went to the Caboose Motel, and then a couple other. I filmed a little bit at the Carpenter's Crossing. That was really cool. And then Lehman Place, all the way at the top of oh god, yeah, exactly, the transformer. It's my old 275 watt. Oh my god, you guys are great. But yeah, it was cool. We filmed at Lehman Place. It was kind of odd because there's no trespassing signs towards like that little park that Strasbourg owns. It's their little picnic grove. So we didn't go past that, but I really wanted to, but it was kind of sketchy. So we filmed on the side, and it was kind of strange. Like, I don't know. I was hoping to catch an Amtrak while we were there, but that didn't happen. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah, exactly. Squirrel moment with this thing. Yeah, it's probably why my power bill's so high. I got this giant brick just chilling here. Here, I always show you guys this, but there you go. Yeah, this powers the entire platform train-wise. Everything else is powered through an accessory block. Thankfully, a whole lot of power. But anyways, I forgot to mention Happy Memorial Day. I know for a lot of people it's just the Monday off, but it is an important, milestone in the year, or it's an important memoir of the year, because it's from what I understand, it's for lost veterans or lost soldiers. So for the many who went before, that's why I put the American flag up there. I'm actually running my tank car for the first time on the channel, and it's a somber day for some. I know a lot of people just count it as an extra holiday, especially if you're government or government employees, or you work at a store, it's closed. But it does have a larger meaning. Same with Labor Day. I mean, well, actually, Labor Day is kind of like whatever. But I know some people launch fireworks on Memorial Day. We've been hearing fireworks here and there. Yesterday we saw fireworks for the fallen who have served. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But it's like I said, it's for some it's just a holiday. I know some people who have actually lost, ones in arms. It's a very painful day. But I think I forgot which place it is. I think Centralia still does, or at least a documentary I saw. Centralia, Pennsylvania, actually does like a service for the people in their town. It was pretty cool. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. I had to actually look up. It's pretty sad. I had to look up Memorial Day, but it is a patriotic holiday of sorts. And the next one coming up is 4th of July. Everyone likes 4th of July. I actually get an extra day off this year because of my job. So I think I'm off that Monday too. So like today I was off of work. That Monday I'll be off as well. So I'll have some time to get things together. I don't know what's going on that weekend yet, but we'll get there as we get there. Exactly. We shall always remember. Exactly. I was actually going to run my I actually have an Eisenhower car in here. I think it's Baltimore and Ohio. I think it's his funeral car. I'm not sure if it's like a propaganda car or a political car or if it's a funeral car. I'm not exactly sure, but it's in my pile of passenger cars. And it says, I think it's got a bunch of like Eisenhower stuff all over it, but it's Baltimore and Ohio. It's MPC era Lionel, so 60s, 70s type plastic. And actually, when it shipped in the box, the trucks, this is how cheap they were starting to get, I guess. The trucks were basically separate in the box. So it came with the shell with the passenger car, and then you would have to actually add the trucks later. So somewhere in this whole mess up here, I have the trucks for that car. I just did not put them on yet. But that was actually given to me in a huge collection. I did not buy it. Ike. Well, I think it says like I like Ike on it and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. So I don't know if it's just a president's car or a funeral car. But yeah, this weekend was action packed. We went to Knoebels on Friday. We should have a video out for that soon. That was crazy because of the rain. And by the time we we got to all our rides and things, it started to like really downpour. So then we were stuck in the park while it was raining, but we rode a lot of things that were undercover. And it kind of felt like, I told Nikki, it was like a sick episode of like Twilight Zone. Basically, the whole park was to ourselves. And we actually ran a lot of rides that we normally wouldn't get on because of lines. Like the bumper cars had no line. The carousel had no line. Just a bunch. It was just weird because people just left, and we were wearing like rain gear. But we did have a good time. We'll put that video up soon. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? By the way, Mark stands for yes. Yep, I knew that. Yeah, it's Mark is it's a jumbled acronym. But I do miss taking the Mark to DC, and I won't be going to DC anytime soon just because it's so like crazy right now. And but I do like going down to their museums because they're free. I mean, they're taxpayer, but there are some museums down there I love to check out that we were going to check out before everything hit the fan with the COVID stuff. Especially the Air and Space Museum. I love air and space. I think I like all transportation stuff. I can't really pick out aircrafts, but I love like space, things like that, the technology into it. But it was all under construction, so we didn't really get a good glimpse of that. But yeah, I hope to get back. But we like taking the Mark train because it rides on the old Amtrak line. Or actually, it's old Pennsylvania Railroad into the Amtrak station down in DC. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see. Hey, Randall, how's it going? And kind of funny, I was watching Ladder 49 the other night. Oh, geez. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. I know it was filmed. Part of it was filmed in Baltimore. They were burning down like abandoned buildings and stuff. I remember that being like a big hype when I was in like grade school when they were filming that movie. It was pretty funny. They're like, yeah, they're burning down. It's like a controlled burn, so don't like be flipping out that they're burning down a vacant building. It's a lot of fun. Railfan Roger, I rode a few trains. I knew a guy. Went from Aberdeen to Perryville and back. Yeah, that is one heck of a well, Perryville. Wait, hold up. I went from Aberdeen to Perryville. So see, that's not much of a route. That's actually not too bad. That's like few stations, I believe. I think that's only one or two stations up. I got a 150 subscriber contest going on. Got several entries for the HO scale prize, but just 5 for the N scale prize, only 1 for the O scale prize. I'll join the O scale. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Rail Farm, it was kind of bumpy though. Yeah, those tracks are pretty old. From Aberdeen to Perryville, those are the old Pennsylvania Railroad tracks. And if you go over the Susquehanna River, I think that line's all catenary, so it has overhead wires. I was actually there this weekend. I went to what was it? Havity Grace to check out a band. It was a friend of ours' band, and I told Nick, I said, look up there. It's like that's the old railroad. That's the Pennsylvania that used to go north south, and it's still in operation today. It's just Amtrak. It's just a really really old bridge. It's like a steel girder, or actually, sorry, steel truss. It goes across the Susquehanna River. But at that point, it's actually the bay. Technically, the bay. It's pretty crazy. One of my local fire companies took their ladder truck down for the filming. Oh, wow. Ironically, it's ladder 49. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, that's bad luck, I guess. I don't know. Gonna watch Virtual Railfan, newest video. I was gonna say Virtual Railfan's always doing something. Oh god, I love that. Bring back Pensy. Yeah, I don't know. I think Amtrak is the closest thing we're gonna get to the Pennsylvania Railroad. Honestly, I wish it's really funny. I always get on a rant with this. And you guys know, if you're new to the channel, you don't know this yet, but it's crazy. Pennsylvania has two state locomotives. You have the GG1 and then the K4 Pacific. There isn't a running either one in the entire state. So how could you have a state locomotive in a state that does not have a running K4 or GG1? I just think it's kind of funny. I know they're restoring a K4, I think at Altoona. I think the body of it's there, but it needs help. I think it's pretty funny. I know most of the entries would be for HO, but I didn't think it would be. Oh god, less lopsided. Yeah. There's a lot of HO scalers. I know RJ from RJ78. He runs HO. Sorry, he runs O scale when he's over here and HO, but primarily HO. They have the movie in the engine. Oh god, or the engine bay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Only rules that you have to be a subscriber and then go to the contest video, type in the comments, contest, then sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I'll have to check out the prizes too. It's I thought about doing something like that for like the 1,000 subscriber special. Maybe do some like door prizes, maybe give away some like little like people or something like that. So, because I know we're gonna do the 24-hour. I'm still doing it. 1,000 sub, 24-hour stream. It's gonna happen. It's just we have to get there. We're at 300, and I think we're 316 right now, give or take a few. Let's see. Yeah, 315 right now. I always tell Nikki, give or take a few bots, because sometimes bots will subscribe and then YouTube will flag it and then they'll push them out. They'll push them out the door. But yeah, so we need roughly 700 more people. Then I'm going to be up all day, all night, 24-hour live stream. I promise I'll do it. We'll run trains. We'll do all kinds of stuff. RJ prefers HO, but never win contest. You never know. Enter his contest. It might work out. But yeah, I know that feeling. Like I never win the lottery. I never win contests. Grandfather was an engineer for Pennsylvania Railroad and ran both the K4s and GG1s. Hey, those are some of the best locomotives ever made. I know the K4s were actually pretty fast. I've heard, I've seen like videos online saying like they could get a K4 up to 90 something miles an hour with a passenger train. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And I believe, if you go down the tracks that are here, these are old Pennsylvania tracks that are local. If you go towards, oh God, what is it? Parkton, which is in Maryland. Down in Parkton, there's a bridge that goes over, I think it's the Gunpowder River. A long time ago, a K4 actually fell off the bridge. It was going too fast. It took a turn and went over. So I think it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I love K4s. I own two of them. I've got one in post-war, it's 2025, and I've got the Protosound 1 rendition 027 from MTH. I love both of them equally. They both have their quirks. I prefer the old stuff because it's vintage and it looks really cool going around the track. But I do like the sound system of this one. It's a little dated, but I love it. I mean, it's awesome. Yeah, 24-hour yikes. Yeah, it's going to happen. I promised you guys on day, I think stream 1, I promised you guys. I wasn't joking. I mean it. RJ's going to be right back. So GG1s, I believe, were built to go over. Yes, I've seen videos of them. I think they would travel usually around, I think it was like 108 was like I forgot what the company, their speed limit. They had like a company limit, and then they had like the speed limit posted limit. But I think the company limit was like 115 on those, and they would clock them at like 108, things like that. But it's pretty cool how they would do that. Don't know if you have StreamYard. Yeah, I have to work out StreamYard. It's going to be it's been a process because I think you can only stream for a certain amount of time per week or per month. I have to look into it. I did look at StreamYard. I have a StreamYard, but I wasn't too impressed with some of the features. I think the webcam can only, for the free version, it can only broadcast in 720? Yes, it was like 720p. You can only broadcast for, I think it was like 20 hours a month or something like that. So I don't know if it's going to work, but I'd love to have people in the stream, things like that. Have people come over in the stream. I might be able to get RJ down here to help me out with that. But yeah, it'd be a lot of fun to do the 24-hour stream. But yeah, I will think of doing the StreamYard, and by that point, I might be able to invest some money into basically doing the StreamYard stuff, because I know it does cost a little bit, but it might go a long way, so it might work out. Someone asked, where is the train that caught on fire? It did catch on fire. What happened was, I'll grab it for you guys. It works. I actually got it working. The old E unit is actually on the desk. I'll bring that over. That's a good question. All right. I was making sure it still smelled like smoke. Whoops, just pushed my desk in place. Here she is, 1668. Yeah, it still works great. The motor's fine, and it still runs like a top. What happened was that I was running it around, and someone was in here before, because I'll show you the E unit. Here is the old reverse unit that's in there. And this is actually a recreated from, I kept on calling it the MPC era on here. And it's still, yeah, it's fried. It stinks. I mean, it smells like a cigarette, like a burnt cigarette filter type smell. But I bet you if I cleaned it, it would still work. But what happened was that there's cloth wiring inside these engines, and I think it got crimped between the shell. One of the hot wires got crimped, because that insulation, if you crimp it, it's not like this modern-esque wire with the plastic shielding or insulation. Cloth wire, if you crimp it, it actually exposes the metal. So what happened with this is that it completely shorted out and just fried the E unit. It happens, but I replaced this E unit with an original 1930s E unit with cloth wire that was actually a little bit better quality. I guess it was dipped, like they used to dip it in all kinds of stuff like creosote or oil. So these are good. I made sure everything was fine, and I did put a piece of insulation, modern insulation or shrink, around the main hot wire that goes from the pickup plate, which is on the bottom. Whoops, right there. Those two pickups, and it's all insulated. So it works great. I actually did another short of that working, and then in the 1688 video, it I ran it again. It was fixed. It was a 2-part or a 2-day shoot. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Let me go back. I saw some other people come in. Hey Gus, how's it going? Oh, it's all good, man. It's not. It's Jay's event, but I'm sure there'll be many more, and there'll be other meetups as well. I might do something at Strasbourg later in the year. I'm not exactly sure, but still contemplating on that. And we have Tom's Trains and Accessories. Hey Tom, how's it going? Uh, and I was actually sending pictures of like this stuff to Tom, like for the whole fixing process. I was like, man, this is like an MPC era E unit someone shoved in there. So it's been pretty cool. But definitely check out his channel. He's doing accessories and things like that, accessory runs and just little clips. But his collection is amazing. He's got a lot more accessories than I do, and the boxes. So definitely check out his channel. And RJ's back. Let's see. 24-hour sheesh. I don't know. I'm too old for that. Yeah, I was gonna say you guys will be asleep. I'll be up here running trains, or God, that'd be really creepy if I did like a sleep camera. That's it'd be like 1984. It's like Nick's asleep, you know. Oh man. Let's see. Ralph and Roger. The one that does not, yeah, this does not have a smoke unit. That was literally the insulation of this wire. Like, look at this. It's like pasta. It's like a noodle. Like this insulation fried. That was that smoke from shorting out. It's pretty funny. But when I basically took this apart, this wire was actually just dropped on the ground. The wire was actually still smoldering, and it was like molten plastic. It was really gross. I'm glad it didn't screw up the inside, because sometimes that rubberized insulation can just melt and create like a paste. It didn't do that. It just burned. So I'm glad it's burned, right? I was going to try and do a GFW stream, but couldn't figure out how to get it to work with the email deal. Yeah, I haven't messed with StreamYard. Like I said, I haven't really gotten into it. I've looked at a couple of other streaming services like OBS. OBS is free. It's I think it's called Open Broadcast Software. That's literally the name. You can do live streams from there. You can do like screenshots of your computer. You can use like a virtual camera. So that's how you actually look at, you guys could see like what my screen's doing, things like that. So I've got a lot of things to like look into. So far, I've just been using the YouTube stream, which I'm not like thrilled about because I can't do a whole lot with it, but it seems to be okay for the type of show that we're doing. But I'd love to pull in like different videos and clips, things like that, but I can't do it with this software. On my mobile device, on the iPhone that I've got, I can use, Prism Studio, which I haven't used in a couple months because I've gotten the YouTube stream stuff set up with the webcam, the microphone, all of that stuff. I was on Sparky's not too long ago, and Randall, and just click the link. Wait to be brought. Oh, sweet. We'll have to do shifts. Yeah. Oh, there's the speaker. I was like, God, it scared the crap out of me. The Bluetooth speaker turned off and did its noise and it shook the floor. I was like, whoa, what's going on? But yeah, I could do shifts. I'd probably be up the entire time. It'd probably be on like a Saturday night into a Sunday type of thing. So I don't lose like the entire weekend, but something like that would be pretty cool. Use Prism. Well, did when I did drive streams, or live stream. Sorry. Yeah, Prism was cool. I would use it. I might use it at Horseshoe Curve. Not exactly sure. It depends if I have cell service. But I did think about doing a live stream at Horseshoe Curve. Mountain Dew. Yeah, I'm gonna be. I'll be chugging like monsters or what's the new one? There's like a new energy drink I came out saying it's called like Bang. I drank one of those before my last show because I'm also a drummer and I play in a high energy band, and I was like really not feeling it that night. And my manager brought over a Bang, and he's just like, "Drink this, you'll feel great." I had like heart palpitations. It was like the craziest. I was like, "No, I'm not drinking that energy drink ever again. I'll just stick to coffee and like Monster." It was rough. I was like, I'm not doing this again." So, but anyways, for next week, I'll actually be at a couple different locations. I keep on forgetting what's on Saturday. Okay. So Saturday, I have a show with the band. So I won't be live streaming at that time. It's going to be too crazy. The last show I did, I live streamed for you guys. I'm sure the audio was awful, but this is an outdoor show. So I will not be live streaming this show. It's going to be in Baltimore at Power Plant Live. It's a 21 and over show. We're playing the headline at like, I think we start at 10 at night. I have to get there at like 5. So that's happening on Saturday. But on Sunday, I'll actually be at a local railroad. It's called the Ma, Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad Preservation Society. They're running trains starting this Sunday. So Nikki and I will be there riding the speeder trains that they have going through the woods. I think it's a couple mile ride. It's Muddy Creek Forks. If you guys haven't checked that video, they've got a ton, literally actually tons and tons of railroad equipment, maintenance away equipment, restoration pieces. They have SW8 diesel switcher just sitting there with the old Mapa. I think it's engine number 8. They have that sitting there, and then they also have an open air car. So I don't think they're running the full scale passenger cars yet. I think they're just going to be running their speeders and maintenance away speeders with the passenger carts. I guess that's the way to say it, but it's going to be pretty cool. Hey, RJ, I'll see you later. Have a great night. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool trip. I'm looking forward to it. I was actually there filming a few months ago, and I basically walked the entire extent of the line where I felt comfortable to walk. It's not an active railroad until I think it's like every Sunday in June. So starting in June, it's every Sunday in June up to I think October. So the lines were not active. So I walked that entire line and I took a lot of video and just did like a scenic tour. I got a couple rail spikes that I found off to the side of the tracks. I did not pull them out from anywhere. They were just sitting there rotting away. I actually tripped on one. And I was like, oh, cool. It's a Mapa spike. And the crazy thing with the Mapa is that I believe it was 70 plus miles of track just to go from Baltimore to York. And Baltimore to York is about a 40-ish mile drive up 83. So basically they added 30 extra miles of just switchbacks and whistle stops and stations in different towns like along the way. It's just a very interesting railroad. And the other cool thing with the Mappa is that I would say 90% of it is gone. Like you can't even find remnants of the Mappa. So there are a couple stations around. There's a roundhouse in Baltimore City that Baltimore City uses as their maintenance building for trucks. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Like there's houses literally built on top of where the railroad used to be. There's structures moved, torn down structures. They used to have a bunch of different stations from basically Bel Air, actually Baltimore County. It would go through Baltimore County, following the Jones Falls area through Green Spring Valley, and then basically it would go north towards your Falston area, Bel Air, Forest Hill, and kind of just do one of these just back and forth into the woods until you hit the towns in Pennsylvania such as Delta, Red Lion, and then York. I believe it also hit Fawn Grove, that area up there. And it used to be a dairy train. It was called the Milky Way. So just very interesting of how that worked. So yeah, we will be there on Sunday riding pretty much the remaining track. I think it goes from Muddy Creek Forks. It goes north. I want to say northwest towards York. It's going to be really cool. You see something really quick. All right. But yeah, this weekend I'll have footage of that. I'm actually going to try to put the camera, like the action cam, on the piece of machinery so you guys can get a good track view, things like that. They should allow filming. They enjoyed that I was there filming before, but it was a really cool trip through the woods. It was just really, really crazy. Shoo. But yeah, the 611 video should be up this week. I'm actually going to edit that tonight and get that on probably tomorrow. That's what I'm really hoping to do. It was a great trip, and the rain kind of kept the crowds away until the rain stopped, and then it was just really crazy. But if you guys are local to the Strasburg area, definitely check out 611. You don't have to pay for parking. I think when it came out 2 years ago, they were charging for parking, which was kind of a deterrent. I didn't even know what was going on at the time. This was years ago. I mean, I think it was 2018. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, what is this thing? What is 611? And it was just nuts. I think they're making people pay for parking. You paid to walk in. It was something like that. And they were using the parking at the Railroad Museum. So then the Railroad Museum got upset. So then they were using the parking lot from the Caboose Motel. Then they got upset. And then all the surrounding towns like Choo Choo Barn, things like that, it clogged up their parking lot. So that's what I remember from the last time 611 was around. I didn't get to see it. We were actually just basically shooting in the wind and saying, let's go to Strasburg today. And we didn't know anything about 611. But it's a cool little, it's an event. It really is an event. It's not a little engine. I was going to say it's a cool little engine. It's not a little engine at all. If you look at 611 compared to Strasburg's other pieces, it's actually quite large. And when we got there, I was just like, man, this thing couldn't even fit in their engine shed that they have for 90 and 475. And I think they're keeping her in the newer engine shed or out in the elements. So I'm not exactly sure what they're doing to store it, but it was a great experience. Definitely a very loud engine. The whistle is very bass heavy. I was not expecting that at all. I thought it'd be more of a higher pitch, But yeah, the whistle in there, you feel it in your chest. I mean, and that engine comes down the track. I mean, you're moving. Randall, I got called early this morning. Had a Thayer, Missouri. Oh God. 1:40 in the AM. That is the morning. That is crazy. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I'd just be like, no, I'm going back to bed. I've got some I don't know. I've been hearing like some other freight trains around work and things like that. They're leaving in the afternoon. They're like afternoon freight trains and things like that. But then they God, what was it? I remember when I used to live in the Baltimore area, we used to have a freight train, I think at 1 a.m., 2:30, and then 4 a.m. on the weekdays. It was pretty crazy. Hey, how's it going? Hello from Tennessee. I was gonna say Tennessee. That doesn't sound normal. Yeah, I saw your video. You were filming from what was it? Bridge? Like it was a bridge. There's trains crossing the bridge. That was pretty cool. And you said like you're in Nashville, so have fun. Have fun down there. It's a great party town. Always fun. Sean, did you ever get your layout working with? I know you wanted to move some of your track. I've been watching some of the videos, trying to keep up. I've got so many things like going on, but I know you're trying to move your track to have the wider radius. I think it was like 072. Is that working out pretty well? Because I did see some of those projects that you were doing. I just have to catch up, but it's I know how that is moving track. Like when I built my yard, I had to pick up and move one of my switches, and then I had to move this entire straightaway and then peel up ballast. It's you know the drill. It's always fun. And actually, I have some other plans for the railroad up here. I'm trying to think through. I don't know if I'm going to go through them or not. They're kind of invasive, you know. Randall, they had to change the crew I was originally supposed to take, and train ended up being at Mark Tree. But I'm talking to them. Oh, geez. No way to board the engine. Oh my god. Most of the plan is working out. I posted a help video. I did see that, so I'll have to check out that video. I'm trying to keep updated, like I said. And if you guys are in model railroading as well, we're always constantly changing things and moving things around. But changing your track plan can be a huge pain in the butt. And I know how that is. Like I said, just putting in this yard, all I had to do is add one switch to the main platform. It took me about 5 hours just because I had to peel up all this track because I'm using that old tube track, peel it all up, and then match up where the ties were and then reballast. It was always fun, you know. It's about Memphis. Nice. Yeah, I didn't go through Memphis. I have been through Nashville. We were there for music stuff. We were trying to look for work down there a couple years ago, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, but you know, it was it was a fun time. I don't remember most of it. If you guys, if you guys ever been to Nashville, a lot of alcohol and adult beverages, and they're cheap too compared to like where I grew up in Baltimore. You go out to a club, it's a couple, it's like $10 a drink. Nashville, it's like half of that, and then they keep you on a tab, and then you pay pretty much. They force alcohol down you. It's pretty awesome. If you're at like clubs and bars and things like that. My only complaint with Nashville, they didn't have like honky tonk country. They had a more modern-esque country that I'm not too much of a fan of. And they call it like boyfriend country. It was all slow stuff. And I wanted like the old like 90s country. So it's a different beast, We can actually get to running some trains. Today I chose to run some of my post-war engines on all the tracks. I've got my NW2 CNO up top, which you guys have seen on the channel before. I did a review on that one. I love it. I've got my 736 that's been rebuilt and repainted on my main track. And then on the inner track, got the 2032s rocking around. I did replace the horn circuit in there. I know I've got mixed reviews on the way the horn sounds, but I don't need the batteries anymore, and that was the main reason why I did that. I'm sure you could put different style horns in there to get the same effect, but for those old engines that take the batteries, I've been trying to get away from those as much as possible, so I don't forget to take the battery out and then ruin a mildly expensive locomotive. Like the post-war stuff right now is really hot on the market. I've been looking at getting some other post-war steam engines up in here, and they're hundreds of dollars, if not quad digits sometimes. I was actually looking at getting a 746 J class locomotive, and the cheapest one I found was around $750 for the engine and tender. Oh, here's a Nikki. What does she have? Woo! Thank you. Woo! This is hot. Nikki has brought me a coffee from Strasbourg mug. Not a sponsor, but if they would like to sponsor me, I'm all for it. That'd be great. Phew, it smells great as well. I seen the short video of your shorted locomotive. You mean this guy right here? Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. It's perfectly fine. No, that was a mess. Yeah, so like I said before, what happened was the cloth wiring got crimped and it shorted out to the frame. It's all fixed. I got the E unit replaced. Works like a charm. I'll run that later for you guys. But we got some heavy hitters here. I got my tank car all set up on the flat car. Got a bunch of other stuff too. I guess you know about the I-40 bridge. No, I don't actually. We were just, I don't even remember a lot of Nashville. It sounds horrible, but I honestly don't remember a lot of it because we were partying a lot. Lot of beer. It was pretty crazy. But I did remember seeing trains. I remember seeing trains like once or twice. I think it was around the station. That's not the station, the stadium that was down there. I remember seeing some trains going around that area of town. But that was the only thing I really remember about trains in Nashville. But it was kind of a flash in the pan. It was a weekend trip. We were meeting up with some other friends that lived down there that moved back to Maryland, but they're back in Nashville after this month or so. But we're going to run some trains. I'll spin you guys around nice and slow. Whoops, if it lets me. There we go. Whew. Yeah, she went back downstairs. She's like, here's your coffee. I'm going. All right, guys. So I'll bring the 736 around. I'll show this engine to you guys real quick. Whoops. Let's see. Let me bring the camera down real nice and slow for y'all. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Let's see. So here is the 736. Let me fix the lighting real quick. Sorry, like the lights are all over the place. I tried doing red, white, and blue, but it looks like purple right now. Let's do red. Let's do no, I don't want that color. I want there we go. Nice and gradual for you guys. So you're not going blind. Oh God, red, white, and blue. Yeah, right. All right, so here is the restored 736 that I love running this guy. Only problem is it needs a new pickup underneath. I forgot the name of this tender. I think it's oh God, I always forget these tenders. It's a W whistle tender. But here is the 736 that was restored. I did the lettering myself with a Cricut machine, and it's locked in forward because, well, look at that bell. Stuck up top. There we go. Bring it down. Oops. It wants to do that for some reason. All right. We'll let it do that. So yeah, I have it locked in forward because of the pickup missing. It every time I go over a switch, it likes to put itself in reverse. So until I get the new pickup roller installed, we're going to run her in forward. And the tender does sound pretty nice. Little crunchy. And it's now on a dead spot on the track. But here is my tank car. I think this is a Sherman tank. Pretty cool. Pretty cool little tank. It's this is it. I believe it's a MTH military set. And the guy who I got the set from only had the one car. So unfortunately, I only have the one military car, but they do sell others. They have like Jeeps, tanks, all kinds of other military equipment, even artillery. So I do look forward to getting some of that. And I saw Menards. Menards is also doing some military cars. So I know people, a lot of people collect these types of cars. I mean, I enjoy them. It's just, it's not really my thing, but I do like having a couple of military cars. I would like to get some classic Lionel cars, like their old space sets, like the NASA sets or the missile launch cars. I'd like a missile car launch car that works compared to mine that's broken right now. On the line, I'm gonna push this. There we go. Just running some other American railroad cars here. We got the Pennsylvania Hopper from, I believe it's a Weaver car. And then this next one is a Lionel, Lehigh Valley. Let's see the build year on that. What is it? Oh, man. I think it says 1960 right in here. It's really hard to see, but I believe it's 1960. And this is crazy. So that one's 1960, and this blue B&O car is 1970. So a little bit newer. And then the next car, we've got Pennsylvania Spotlight car, Beacon car. And then I believe this is a Menards caboose from, let's see. I believe it says 918, so that's 2018. I think it's a Menards caboose. I'm not exactly sure. And sorry, I paused a moment. I thought I heard fireworks outside. So people are launching fireworks. That's what you get for being in Pennsylvania. So anyways, we're going to move on to the next train of the evening. And let's see. Oh, wow. They shut down an entire bridge. Here's an original set of post-war cars. And these are from the early 1950s. So a lot of them do have the date stamped on them, like the Baby Ruth. The Baby Ruth car is actually, it's got plastic trucks, but it's from, let me see real quick. Yeah, unfortunately, the Baby Ruth car doesn't have a year on it, so I thought it did. I think it's from the early '50s. I've looked cars up before, but I know the set. I believe it's from 1952, 53. So we're gonna get that one rolling around, and then up top, I've got the NW2, which is one of my favorites in my entire collection. Up there, my little CNO switcher. It's gonna start in reverse right there. There you go, and we're gonna go forward. NW2 switcher, and just an assortment of ore cars. So let's get all these trains rolling, and here we go. Let's see if this 736 can actually go through the switches without hitting. We'll try this out. It's going to be tight. Let me try it. Oh, it worked. And we actually lost part of the 736. Oh, God. Would you look at that? Oh, man. I hate these couplers on these cars. Oh. So, like, these... I know you guys asked me about... Some of you guys asked me about NPC stuff. This is not an NPC car, but it's a more modern car from the Pennsylvania Flyer set. And these couplers, this coupler just gave out on a turn. I didn't even realize it, so it hit the butt of the other car. So these couplers on some of these cheaper, newer cars, just always watch out. And also, I've had several problems with this car. Look at the pickup roller in the back; it just hangs there. So this gets caught up on switches too, and it was like that when I bought it. So we're gonna dump this car. Well, not throw it away, but I'm gonna 86 that for the night, and then we're gonna run just the caboose on there, so I get the train to catch up to it. Throw this underneath. This is actually the original engine with that set. This is the Pennsylvania Flyer from Lionel. I think this is from like 2010, 2011, something like that. And it runs all right. It's just it runs off DC, so you got to watch your speed and stuff with it. So I'll try to do. I'll show you guys this. So I'll move this train up. And at the end, I'm going to do this. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. You guys a nice station view. That's good. That's all working nice and smooth. Got the smoke unit working as well. This one I did actually replace the smoke unit. It has the old bowl smoker, as they call them, with the I forgot what it is. It's basically a coil instead of the resistor circuit in there. But if you use the smoke pellets in these locomotives and then mix it with the liquid smoke, it creates a horrible reaction that will roach out any smoke unit. I have saved those smoke units before from like that reaction by just using contact cleaner and trying to scrape off like all the old stuff. But it's helpful to just get the resistor kit, start from scratch. So this one actually smokes really well. Not as nice as my other ones, but it smokes a little bit better than the pellets. And I believe someone did add liquid smoke to this pellet smoker before I changed it out. So that's why it was so nasty. And actually kind of sparked up too. It's been kind of crazy with that. But you can actually run. I'm going to swap out the 736, give her a break. Hey, Lackawanna, how's it going? Oh, it's got magnet traction. This thing is heavy. God, it's a monster train. Shoo. Doing all right. Just busy filming, staying busy, with this beautiful weather before it gets too hot. It's been great filming and everything. It's just basically it comes down to money and time. Places have not gotten cheaper. It's prices are going up, especially with fuel and stuff, trying to get out and film locations, but we're managing. Let me try to find something that can pull this train. It's pretty heavy. Actually, that's not too bad. Let's see. Probably because of the holiday. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of people are out traveling. I know we had Sean from Dogman Productions. He's in Nashville, looks like. A lot of guys all over the place, And I've been busy rail fanning stuff and going to locations and things like that. But it's been pretty crazy. Definitely keep him busy. Let's see. What do we have here? Yeah, we'll run this guy. This is the trying to keep everything American. Keeping the theme. There we go. Hey, no problem, Tom. Yeah, Tom. I saw all your messages. Thing. I got to get back to you soon. Just been so freaking busy, man. Oh wow, RS3s, man. There's does the DL only run like Alcos? I'm just wondering because I think RS3s are Alcos, I believe. Sorry, I got my coffee finally. But I think it's so funny. Like every time I've seen the DL, it's like all they're running is the Alcos, and I haven't seen them. DL is only Alcos. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I know they smoke up a storm. When I filmed the railroad bridge that RJ and I were on, we caught them at Steamtown, and they smoked out the entire parking lot. It was amazing. Old smoking Alcos. Oh wow, they have a GP7. Jeez. Yeah, one of my friends was filming down in Baltimore. Actually, it wasn't Baltimore. It was Mount Airy, Maryland, and he found it was a GP40 X B&O, and it looked like what was behind it was like a converted. It looked like a GP7. I wasn't sure, but it was CSX. It looked like it was converted, or like a GP38 converted with a GP40 on the other side with the I think it was a dash two cab. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But definitely check out his channel. It's the Train Seekers. He films all over uh, Maryland, and he also films up in the Lehigh Valley area. Steamtown had a train come down a few days ago. Wow. Hey, good night, Lewis. Thank you so much for stopping by. And guys, we were actually out at Strasburg with Lewis. He stopped by. We filmed a couple locations. It was a lot of fun. We got drenched and everything, but definitely worth it. So, but yeah, thank you so much for coming out. Definitely check out his channel, guys. He's does a little bit of everything, exploring things like that, and he's local to that area town. So it's a short drive for him, and I'm about 45 minutes from Strasburg, so it's not a big deal. Um, but definitely intend on going out to Strasburg even more this summer to check out things. Let's see. Oh yeah, sorry, I swapped out the outer trek to the 2026, not 2025. Wow, time and a half, man. That'd be great to have for my job. Looks like I have to re-insulate my rails for the what do you call it? The banjo signal, because it keeps on going off and there aren't any trains in that siding. So I probably have to redo the insulation on the rail. I think I got kind of screwed up when I took up the track to put in the yard. I think I forgot to do that. So oh well. Still in Santa Fe paint. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, I've only seen one GP7 in my lifetime, and the Baltimore and Ohio's got one, and it still works. I think they use it for switching operations. The furthest I've traveled to go rail fanning. Let's see. Um, Honestly, at this point, like on my own, honestly, I would say Steamtown, that whole area, because that's 3 hours north from my house right now, or actually northwest, I want to say. So I would say Steamtown area, but it was kind of like just to go to the museum and things like that. But then we're going to Altoona in 2 weeks to check out another channel's meetup. So I would say those two are the furthest I've driven to strictly railfan, but I've driven, you know, it doesn't count. Yeah, I would say that that's probably the furthest as of right now I've driven to railfan some stuff. But I would love to get out to see like the Union Pacific stuff and a bunch of other stuff out west. I haven't really done rail fanning out there, but I remember seeing BNSF when I went to Washington. But that's definitely on my list of things to do. It's just with everything going on right now, I'm going to wait, wait a little bit before then. I'm actually going to try to change out the 2023s. Yeah, road trip. That's going to be a flight trip. But yeah, Altoona is going to be great. I'm really excited for that. I've never been to Horseshoe Curve, so it's definitely going to be a new experience for sure. Bring earbuds and all that stuff because I've heard it's extremely loud from like watching railfan videos and all kinds of things. But I'm going to take these classic locos off the track. You guys can kind of see them. Oh, let's go. Here, I'll bring them back to show you guys. Whoops, wrong train. I'll put it one more around across the track, and then I'm going to shelve these guys for the night. Last week with the it just fell off the track. I think it had something to do with it being like a 6-wheel truck up top, and I think it just fell off the track and it shorted out. But I did have to take that loco off. It was actually like chalked in the track, so I actually had to climb underneath and then pull the engine off the track. So I'm glad it didn't fall, but it just kind of fell off. And I think, like I said, I think it's wheel spacing, all of that stuff. And it's kind of crazy. If you look at some of the MTH stuff from the 90s as well, they did the wheel spacing correct. And then, or they did the wheel spacing to work with 027 turns and things like that, or 031, I'm sorry. Compared to some of the MPC era stuff, it works good on 042, but 031 is like a no-go. And that was an MPC era U-boat. So it did not work at all. GP7's in rough shape. You can even read the Santa Fe. On one side of the locomotive, it's so dirty, but then again, we're talking, 70-year-old loco. That's pretty amazing. And the B&O had, what was it? Because I was there back in, must have been December. Because it was December because they were doing like the Santa train and things like that. Their GP38 that was in the parking lot, one of the sides was like completely sun bleached and the other one looked pristine. And I know that engine runs. I've seen videos of it run, and they use it for their diesel day, which we're going to in August. Basically, it's just sunbaked. So one side's got the sun all day, the other side gets the shadow, and it's probably like facing, the east. It's facing due east, so it gets completely sun bleached out. But it was, same situation. It almost looked like almost like a teal color. It was so bleached out, but it's supposed to be that dark B&O blue, just like the NW2 up there. But I'm going to grab a different loco for the center track. I'm probably going to grab, what's something that's going to make some noise for you guys? Let's see. I'll try to find something else. I'll be right back. Let me grab these guys off. You guys are talking about RS3, so I'll put an RS3 on the platform. Let's see, why is that running so rough? For some reason, that's running really rough, so I don't know. That's really odd. Oops. Yeah, it just shorted out. So that one's not going to work for some reason. All right, so this one's not working, unfortunately. Grab this one. Back. There we go. Shoo. All right, I'm on the other side of the layout, so let me spin this guy around. You guys were talking about RS3, so I got one running on the track. It's just not running right. This one has a horn. Hey, Heath, how's it going? Put a pre-war train on. They're reliable. Well, I've got my 2026 running on the outside. She's pretty reliable, too. And I'll get this guy rolling up top. There we go. Stencil for BNSF and carries the BNSF number, but still pretty cool. Yeah, that is really cool seeing that. If you ever get photos of that, I'd love to see that. Is that Amtrak RS1? I thought it was an RS-3, but I'm not sure. At least I thought it was. Wow, it's got the ditch lights too. That's really cool. Where's that loco that smokes? Well, Heath, it's not actually supposed to smoke, but yeah, it fried up on me. It was that was my blame Heath short. Yeah, I'll grab it for you guys. Whoa. All right, so let me slow her down up there. Shoo. Yeah, this is a 2026. This is meant to smoke. You can actually see it's still kind of puffing out smoke because it's still hot. But we'll put the I'm running out of room to store trains over here. This is the 1668, and this is the one that fried the other day. Put that on the track. Oh man, yeah, she fried up. Basically, I blame the cloth wire that they used to use in the 30s and 40s, but it works great now. I mean, check this out. It didn't fry. I was just letting off steam. Yeah, like, like 80 years worth of steam. Special feature only you can unlock. Yeah, that's what I get for collecting old trains. I mean, she runs great now. I mean, nice and quiet, too. It's even more quiet than it was before. I'll even have it go through the station if you want. There we go. Nice and smooth. Yeah, starting to smell the ozone now of that motor. It's doing a lot of work. And seriously, she's nice and quiet and doesn't trip the switches. See, I'm definitely surprised on that one. Because I thought it was a goner. When I saw the smoke shoot out, I was like, oh, it's gone forever. See if I can actually do the red, white, and blue. Let me try that really quick. There we go. Let me get the perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I've got parts laying around for all these guys. Then here's the E unit in automatic mode. Nice and quiet. Don't even hear it. My favorite thing to do, I'd like to get a track. At least I think it'd be really cool if you had a track, because it's in neutral right now. And for you guys who don't know, this is your reverse unit up here. You flip it to the right, it completely disengages the solenoid for the reverse unit, and now you just have a lighted train. I think it'd be so cool to actually have a track with a bunch of these locos on it and put them all in the pretty much dead mode. It just runs power to the light. I think it'd be really cool just having that, set up on like a shelf with a bunch of these with the lights on. Really cool. Hey, Knights Right, how's it going? And then to put it back into the running mode, you just hit that, and then you can lock it over like I like doing. MPC era stuff. I mean, I know repairs on it if it's like motors and stuff like that, but I would check your local Lionel dealers, things like that, or local hobby shops. They might be able to do the repair work. But I do know that it might be a little expensive trying to find parts and things like that. But usually with MPC, it's usually just a motor, or depending on what it is. If it's like a diesel, that's pretty easy to fix. But if it's a steam engine, depending on what type of gearing and they used or drivetrain, things like that, it might be a little bit more, a little bit more expensive and hard to find parts. But definitely check with some local hobby stores first. But I am pretty good at repairing some of that stuff. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And then turn off the lights, the house, just use them as train lights. Yeah, because all it is running power to the headlight. And honestly, with these, like nowadays, you can actually replace these screw base bulbs. These are all screw base in here, not the bayonet bulbs. They have LEDs. You could actually put LEDs in all of these, so it's not drawing as much power, and have a lighted display shelf. It would be really cool. Locomotive is at a part of the yard known as the SoCo, which makes the yard itself rather unique in the fact that it actually carries two names. Wow. One side is SoCo, the other is... Oh, wow. That's really cool. Yeah, like I said, there's not much of that stuff around anymore where I'm at. Like I said, down the street's the old Pennsylvania main line, and then it was abandoned as a main line probably in the late 1970s or so. They just used it for a couple of things here and there. What about Hennings or something like that? I'm not sure what those are. I'm sorry. Oh, for repairs. I'm sorry. I have to read. The wife won't go for it. What? These are beautiful pieces of art. I mean, honestly, this is a piece of art. Someone had to actually sculpt these out, mold them, and then make the casts. I mean, that's my opinion with these, at least. They're art. And this guy, yeah, it's really warm. Oh, man. Motor problems. I've been looking for someone to repair my Illinois Central Golf 8669 engine. Motor problems and needs a new paint job. Now, paint jobs, they're pretty tricky, to be honest with you. The motor stuff can be pretty easily solved. It's usually just an E unit, which is your reverse, the reverse unit up here. But check out, if you want, check out my one video I did. It's called repairing 3 unique diesels. I did that video, God, all the way back in probably like November or December. Check out that video. That might be able to help you out with opening up the engine, at least taking a look at the motor and the E unit. Paint is completely gone. Yeah, a lot of those MPC era locos, the plastic's pretty brittle, and the paint or whatever they would use to paint the locos would fall off, things like that. Lansdale, PA. I'll have to check out that train shop. Heath, depending on what MPC it is, some of that stuff's not like, they're good runners and things like that, but they're not as valuable as, like, if you're looking for value and stuff like that, it's not as collectible as like the post-war stuff, but MPC stuff is good for the most part. It's just the motors are a little finicky sometimes, but like this guy, I would never repaint it. I have one that is repainted, but the MPC stuff is actually really, it's pretty much the value is how it runs. At least you have like a specialty set, things like that. But I own a ton of MPC stuff. It works okay. I mean, honestly, it's a good runner. They're a little light, but they still work. I'm gonna actually take this guy off the track. Oh, it's got the finicky. Actually, see if I can do this. There we go. Just run it in reverse, it decouples itself. Oh, jeez. Here, I haven't ran this guy in a while. I'll actually just throw the let me get over there to the desk. Oh man. We'll run my Williams turbine engine. Whoops. So many wheels. There we go. I got it hooked up to that whistling tender. Oh, I forgot to put another engine on the inner track. What's in there? Oh, it's that Amtrak. I'm sorry. Totally forgot. Yeah, I do love the pre-war stuff. It's interesting. A lot of the designs that came up with everything. Yeah, I do like the streamlined engines of the pre-war era. I'm sorry. It'd be really cool to get one of my dream engines would be to get one of those Hiawatha sets. That'd be really cool. Grab this engine off of here. Oh yeah, I've seen that episode of Pickers too. But that set, I believe that was a pre-war set, and that was pretty funny. I know Frank from the show. He's he's like a huge toy collector. Apparently, I mean, I don't really. I can't really go off those shows because I know Pawn Stars came out to be like fake and stuff. But I used to watch those shows like religiously, like Pawn Stars and American Pickers and things like that. So the Pawn Star guys and the Pickers, I think they had like the same producers. I'm not sure if it was like, I know they're all on History Channel, but I'm not exactly sure, what they actually collect and things like that, if they're just making like a story. But Frank in the show was always after toys. But the crazy thing is he never ever bought trains. Like I would see trains in the background at like houses and things that they would go in, like barns. I'm like, Frank, there's a train, pick it up, man. You'll make a quick buck on these, but he never did. And the one set he bought it had a lot of issues. Well, as that set you guys were talking about in the chat. And, unfortunately, those sets aren't really worth as much as they say they are because you have to sell it, Standard gauge trains take up a lot of real estate. And standard gauge trains are very expensive, but the thing is, it's all about what people are willing to pay. Like a Greenberg catalog can say, hey, this is worth X thousands of dollars, but it's all about what people are going to pay. And if you're not going to get the money out of it, it's going to sit. It's not worth it. I mean, that's what I went to an antique store yesterday. We were looking at, actually, sorry, it was on, must have been on Saturday. We went to an antique shop and I was looking at this guy's train collection that he was selling, and he wanted like crazy prices for this stuff. And someone walked over and they said, you need any help with anything? I said, no, it's like this stuff's crazy expensive. And she's like, do you want to talk to him about the price? I was like, no. But I said, this stuff will never sell. It'll be here, in a million years. But it's crazy, I think it's just crazy some of the value of some of the trains that they are out, that they do put out there. But yeah, the state set is pretty cool. It's just, you got to get a good deal on it to try to flip it. A lot of trains you're buying for yourself, not to resell. But I do wish they would actually purchase more trains on that show. I haven't seen the show in years just because we don't have cable and stuff like that. But I did watch it all the time at my parents' before I moved out. But I actually switched out the center engine to be my Baldwin. I love this thing. Oh, wow. He had it in his hands. He missed that it was repainted. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think you'd be fine repainting that MPC stuff compared to like the, a state set. And I got all my Pennsylvania stuff running. Move this back. Do you run any TMCC or Legacy DCS? I honestly don't own anything that's DCS or TMCC. Actually, that's not true. I have what is it? My EP5 celebration series is I think it's TMCC equipped, but um, I don't have it. I don't have the system hooked up for it. I get some smoke in this room. It smells so good. Yeah, a lot of the train prices are getting kind of crazy. Actually, turn these guys off for a second. There we go. So I'm actually looking at because I know, Tom just said, do you run any TMCC Legacy DCS? I'm thinking about getting into that stuff, but I'm just worried about the pricing of it, and I'm really, really nervous of some of their Steam engines because I have actually I've got two friends that just bought Lion Chief sets, and then what was it? Lion Chief Plus. One set's Lion Chief, one's Lion Chief Plus. The other one is, I think it's Legacy. And all of them have died. Like everything was, what was it? Like everything was perfectly set up. He showed me videos, everything, and then one of the trains ended up dying. And he was asking me, he's like, "Do you know what's up with this?" I said, "No, I'm not too familiar with that stuff." So he ended up sending it back to Lionel. So it's just been a mess, like back and forth bickering between Lionel and stuff. And I'm having more fun running like Proto Sound 1. Like this guy here is Proto Sound in front of you guys, the Baldwin. I love that. My MTH, what are you, Western Maryland GP9. I'll probably end up running that in a second. But that one runs great, so I can't complain. Yeah, I love running stuff conventional. It's a lot of fun. But I'm not knocking it. I mean, I love to try out some command stuff. I just don't have the infrastructure on the layout yet. Diesel smoke's great. Yeah, it's got a little fan smoke drive in there. We can crank it up. There we go. It's got the cinnamon smoke in there right now. Smells great. The bell is a little tinny, but other than that, I love all the other sounds. It's just like my Western Maryland that's in the yard right now. I love those sounds as well. I wish the Western Maryland had a smoke unit, so I might actually install a smoke unit in that eventually. I'm not too sure how to do that, but I'm sure there's a port on the board for that because I know I've been into some other Proto Sound 1 trains and they just didn't have that option. And I think The Western Maryland that I have is a prototype or a custom piece. I think the engine in front of you guys right now is a prototype PS1 that someone bought. It's like a salesman sample or something like that, or an add-on engine. But the one in the yard, I think it was fully custom. I wish it had a smoke unit. I really do. But we'll get that rolling in a second. Can't get a full picture view through the TV. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I wish there's, like I said, I wish the pickers bought more trains, because trains do hold some value. Like I said, some of these post-war engines that are out there in the market, um, crazy expensive. Especially, like I looked up a Lionel 746, which is the J class NNW it's from the post-war era, and they want the minimum I saw was like $500-600, and then with the set of passenger cars, I think it was around $800 or so just for the engine and a couple cars. But those sets do hold a lot of value. All sounds are pretty good no matter what. Each era shows. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've got stuff from the MPC era. It's got that crunchy horn. I like them. I think they sound pretty cool. Um, I've got the Proto Sound 1 stuff. It sounds a little crunchy, but my Western Maryland diesel I think that's got an amazing sound package on there. And you can hear its age and everything compared to the newer stuff, but I still love it, especially and also the post-war like horns and whistles. Oh man, that stuff's awesome. Here, I'll bring out the Western Maryland. We'll hook her up to this freight train here. I gotta bring the turbine engine back. I gotta decouple the cars the old-fashioned way by hand. Hey, does anyone in the chat know how to decouple trains with the Proto Sound 1? Because I know they have the auto couplers. I'm not sure if it's like a combination between whistle and horn or bell. If anyone knows that, if you can write that in the chat, because I've done it before. I just don't know how to replicate that whole situation. Let's see. I'm going to try to move. Let's see. Let me move this car out. All right. I'm going to try to put this engine here, this turbine engine. This is a Williams turbine. It's number 620 or 6200. I'm sorry. And I'm going to put him in this bay right here. And the thing is with Williams that's interesting, as soon as you hit the throttle on these, they go forward. So you don't really get a chance to start up in neutral compared to like the Proto Sound stuff. It also got stuck there. A little bit of a dead zone in the track. All right. And these also fly because they use a DC motor in them. So we switch this one by hand. Whoops. Go back a little bit. And then we'll switch this track electronically. All right, we got the red. So, whoops, wrong way. Whoops. You guys see how it died right there? I've got this all blocked out. I forgot to turn on the switch. I got the switches underneath here. This is for this track to apply power. And there we go. We're free, I think. Give it a push. Yep, that's it. That's the end of the line for that. So let me turn off the power here. At Split Rock, what causes a dead zone on three rail? So yeah, that's a great question. And if you guys have any questions with O scale, to the best of my ability, I'll try to answer. I mean, I'm all here to help you guys out, and I enjoy talking about this stuff too. So if you guys have any questions of how to operate or fix something, just give me a shout. I mean, I'm not going to shoot you guys down. I mean, I love talking about this stuff. So what causes a dead zone? So an O scale, O gauge, unless you're running, there's such thing as two rail O scale, which is pretty fancy, complicated stuff. A lot of scale guys will run two rail, which means you don't have the center in here. So this is your hot track. Actually, let me get a fancy pointer for you guys. All right, so an O scale three rail, this track here, and then this track on your outside, let me get a better view. This track and this one are your return. Now, you don't really have positive and negative because it's alternating current, AC. So your engine's going to pick up power from this center rail, and it's going to deplete the charge. Your return is going to be the outer rails. Now, what happens is that if this center rail isn't getting power, you won't have power to your locomotive, so you'll have a dead zone. Now, here's a great example. I'm running two switches. As you guys can see, there's a switch here to the left, this guy here, and there's an insulator pin put in this center track. And that is there because these switches, they're automatic switches. So when the train approaches from this direction, it's going to switch. And sometimes, on the other side, there's a pin. So scratch that. On this side here, there's an insulator pin. Now, because there's an insulator pin there, this track is now a dead zone in here because it's supposed to get power. Let me actually put the camera up a little bit more. Always blame the middle rail and dirty. Yeah, that can be a factor as well. But this is just a situation I had recently. So let's see. All right, so here's the yard right there. So right here, right between this switch and this switch, there's an insulator pin. And that's for the automatic switch, which means if this switch here, sorry, let me go back. Hey, Henry, no problem, man. Take it easy. But thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully your school's going well. So if I run, here's a great example. Because I don't have a car I don't have an engine on the track. I'll actually power this up and show you how it works. So our track's got power. Here's a flat car. So see, it can switch into here, no problem. And I can actually there we go. So if this switch is turned to go straight, so you can see that this is going to go straight. So watch this. My car approaches. See how it's switched automatically? And that's due to the insulator pins that are placed on certain parts of the track, and it applies power. You can see this little gap. That's an insulated section of track. So when the wheel hits this block here, it completes the circuit and allows the switch to flip to prevent derailing. So I love that. They came up with this technology in the late 1940s, 1950s. This switch is actually from the 1950s that you guys are looking at. So watch this. Switch is on its own, and the track can go like that. Now, let me flip it straight. So now the car can go this way. So I have, for that to work going this way, if the track's turned like that, there's an insulator pin in here. And watch this. Now, because of that pin being there, because remember we said that this center rail is your power, this guy here is your power, I then have a dead zone between this switch where this flat car is sitting and then the consist of cars that are going down there, because I have another switch all the way down here. Hey, Jamie, how's it going? Now you see this switch down here where I'm pointing. You can see the light for it right here. There's another insulator. Where is it? Okay, so there is another insulator pin for that switch that operates the same function. Hey, Adam, how's it going? I just saw your chime in. So yeah, basically, I've got a dead zone in this whole section, and how you prevent that is actually you take a wire, you go from this track. Sorry, let me get the camera in view. You go from this track, the center rail, and then you bridge it to go before your dead zone. And my lead wire is actually soldered in here somewhere before all your switches. So it's just a basic understanding of how dead zones happen. I actually had another dead zone, same exact reason, for my yard, because insulator pins have to go for this automatic switch, and that basically killed my entire track. So what I did, I took a lead, I soldered a lead from underneath the table from this track as well, and I powered it, I think, all the way. Actually, it's right in here. This track here. You can see the wire. See that this wire sticking up in there, that little white wire? That's actually the power for the yard. So yeah, just a little bit of education on how that works. It is a little complicated, but think of this. It's just, send and return. That's how I think of AC. But hopefully that helped you out. But yeah, also dirty track can create dead zones or pits in the track or gaps. If you don't put in your track pins, there's like little metal track pins between each set of rails. Like up here, where my track meets, there's metal pins that go through. Now, the other thing to remember is that because your outer rails are your return, let me go back in here. This rail and this rail on the outside are technically wired in the same circuit. They're your return. The tie for this type of track, the tie is metal, and they're clipped to this outer track. That means that this tie is also, bridging your connection, but the center rail has a piece of paper. You can kind of see it in here. I'll actually turn this light up a little bit. There's a piece of paper that insulates the center rail from touching the tie. So that's how that all works. Now, certain track systems are different. Like Gargrave's track uses synthetic wooden ties that prevent that from happening. So basically, your outer rails are insulated from each other through that wood synthetic tie. Another great example is Fast Track, which you guys will see a lot nowadays. Fast Track is plastic ties, but underneath the track, they have all of their connections, so you don't have to solder, things like that. The other track system I can figure out that comes to mind is the MTH real tracks and scale tracks. Those are the same thing. Now, because these are all tube metal, you got metal ties, so a little bit different, But I'm glad you asked that question. Like I said, I'm here to help. If you guys have any questions with how to wire something up or how to fix something, just let me know for sure. Let me go back in the chat a little bit. Let me turn this light off. It's going to get really bright. And there we go. Shoo. All right, let's see what I missed. I just got back from my neighbor's barbecue. Hey, that sounds great. 611 was awesome. She is a beautiful locomotive. Can't wait to post that video. You guys are going to have a great time with that. We chased it pretty far. We hung out with exploring and adventuring with Lewis. That was awesome hanging out with him. Great guy. We parted ways at the Caboose Motel, and then we ended up going to 2 other locations to try out, to test run, because I've been to them before. But it's going to be a great video. You guys are going to have a great time with that. Let's see. Tom's Trains asked, do you power your switches separately from the track in order for them to work perfectly or at a slower speed? I actually have them wired to the track. I know a lot of you guys don't do that, but I actually have them wired up to track power. Hey, Randall, stay safe. Thanks so much for stopping by. So we got a few things going on in the yard. Let's see. Try to get this here. Still trying to rotate this camera. Let's see. There we go. Let's wake her up. Trying to get the bell to work. Whoops. It's saying no. Don't know what that was. I think there's something stuck in this loco. Oh, we found another dead spot. Let's see. Oh, actually, I'll try to move you up a little bit. Huh. Might actually be time for this engine to have a new battery put in. For any guys that are new to Protosound 1, there's a rechargeable battery that gets placed into these locomotives. They run off of a 9-volt style. They call it like an 8.4. I think it's 8.4 volt, but it's really a 9-volt battery. And how that works is basically on the inside, on the board, there's a little clip, and you end up putting a what is it? Basically a 9-volt battery back in there. So it's pretty crazy. So I'll probably end up getting one of those for this engine. It looks like it's starting to die battery-wise. And also found a dead spot right here in the track. Thanks. This one's one of my favorites, but she's acting up a little bit. Sit for a few seconds before you move it, or you hit the direction button. It depends. So if your battery's charged up, like right now, I got her sitting on the track. Let's see. There we go. I've got her sitting down there. Can get the bell going. So I'm going to let her charge up for a little bit because I haven't ran this engine in a while. But yeah, it does help to let them charge. You can let them sit for a little bit, but it's doing like a voiceover thing right now. My other two engines start up pretty easily because they have new batteries in them, but this one has an older battery. So I'm starting to think maybe I have to replace the battery in it because it's got the original battery from the original owner that actually replaced it with an Energizer battery instead of the MTH battery. You can also put capacitors in these. I think they're called CB or BCRs or CBRs. I think it's BCR, which is the capacitor equivalent to a battery, and I think it holds a charge for 8 hours. So it's pretty cool. BCR, yeah, there we go. They sell them for like $17 on Amazon. It's just running through all its radio programs. And with this loco, it actually, you can hear the compressor kick on too, which is pretty cool. It's actually on right now. Here, I'll spin you guys around so you can hear it.
All right, 1930, thanks, sir. One coach, one half, 20, that's good. Hello, Jerry.
There it goes. Just so you guys can hear that. It's kind of cool. It like kicks on. I think it's supposed to sound like a compressor going on it. I can hear that like kind of thunking. There we go. It's got like a boat horn. Here, let's get this other the stream started off as a post-war party. Now we're having a Proto Sound 1 bash. Here, I'll put the K4 up top. Hey, Brian, how's it going? All right, so I got the K4 upstairs over there. There we go. Rail fan Roger. Basically, we went from post-war to Proto Sound 1. That's all you missed. That's all good. Yeah, the BCR is a capacitor. I think it's supposed to hold the charge for about 2 hours or so. Yeah, she's running great. Yeah, I love how loud these guys are too. Hey, Gus, thank you so much, bud. Just have all my engines idling. And this smoke unit, I swear, is the craziest. Look at that. Smoking out the attic. Look at that. So this engine, the Baldwin's actually got, I think, what is it? Cinnamon roll from MTH Proto Smoke, and the engine up top has actually got the oh god, what is it? I think it's Big Boy Smoke. So it's funny because I'm smelling like the Big Boy Smoke smells like a pork barbecue, and the what do you call it? The cinnamon roll actually smells like burnt cinnamon buns. So yeah, smoking in the train room. Yeah, the smoke detector. I'm not going to jinx it, but it is here. It's just not very proactive. It never goes off with this stuff. So, and I got a fan up here too today because it's really hot. Like I said, all the heat from the house decided to come up here today. So yeah, it's been. This week's supposed to heat up, so I did see that in the forecast. And I'm not too excited about that. But like tonight after the stream, I'm going to do some editing. Then tomorrow after work, I've got to do more editing, things like that. But it's been really crazy. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about putting a. I get to it. I put a smoke unit in this engine. That's one of my goals, but I don't know if there's room in there for it because these Protoson 1 engines have a lot going on in them. Do a couple more rounds around the train layout, then going to call the stream, but it's been a great stream so far. You guys have been awesome. I'll set her up over here. Whoops, let's do that. Oh yeah, I forgot. We could actually run. Forgot about the log loader. Oops. Hey, Lehigh Valley, how's it going? Yeah, I forgot to set up all the accessories to run for you guys. So here's the ice house. Get that going. Take you guys over to the yard right here. Let's see. All right, I got the Santa Fe War Bonnet on the outer track. Well, it's the El Capitan locomotive from that set. Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. Just let me know. Send me a message on Facebook. We'll work it out. All right. Shoo. Got the camera all the way up top. So there I am there. Awesome. All right, everyone. I'm going to call the stream. It's getting pretty late. I got to wake up nice and early for work, of course. And it has been a weekend. Like I said, look out for the videos at Strasbourg that will be out. I'm hoping tomorrow. Definitely check that out. It's going to be awesome. Like I said, we're running all over the place, all over the, the connecting roads into town and things like that. And then also look out for our Knobles video that will be out. We filmed that, like I said, on Friday. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, definitely check that out. Like I said, a bunch of other railroad adventures coming up like this weekend. I'll be up at Muddy Creek Forks, which is in Pennsylvania. We're going to ride their train out there. Like I said, it's a speeder cart style maintenance away excursion. So definitely look out for that one. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, it's just been a crazy, crazy weekend. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. And what's it say, Jamie? Sorry. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy weekend. But yeah, shoo. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining for this Monday-Runday. I believe it's episode 22, which is crazy. Almost half a year worth of Monday-Rundays right here. It's really crazy. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, always consider subscribing. Also, love to hear you guys' comments, all that good stuff. Like I said, stay tuned for Rail Adventures. Make sure you hit that bell for all so you guys don't miss all kinds of railroad things planned for the summer and throughout the year. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the stream. I love, helping you guys out with things. So you guys have any questions, feel free to message us through our Facebook page. Make sure you follow us on Facebook for updates, like channel updates, new video postings, things like that. But yeah, it's been a great stream and you guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Tom. Yeah, I'll message you back on Facebook. Like I said, I've been totally swamped because this weekend. But anyways, everyone, have a great night. Have a great week. And until next time, happy railroading. Have a great night. Thank you so much.